near his own goal line. And they've got inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. And the Doll coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
They haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. T.J. Yeldon taking it in. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. 2nd and 10, Elway. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Lawrence Taylor, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Now Elway on 3rd and long. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll indeed go for it with Elway. He's got Cruz complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. Out of the right, this is Cruz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st down, Elway. It's complete to Cruz. It's a pickup of 21. And the Cowboys are going to get a 1st down. On 1st, they'll throw with Elway. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offense.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catch.
All right, Larry, hope everyone is settled in for a great Draft Champions contest. Here, lucky to witness it, I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. These guys that you see on your screen, they won't be witnessing, they will be participating in what should be an excellent game. Let's get down to the field. It's time for kick. Two teams here amped and ready for football, and off we go in week 2 of Draft Champions. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The linebacker, William Compton, in on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Again, it's Yeldon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So it'll be first down here after the run. Now T.J. Yeldon, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And a nice gain of 21 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. They'll run with Yeldon. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
And boy, on the first drive of the game, I kept waiting for the field goal unit to come trotting out, but they stayed put. And this is a real statement here as they get a 1st and goal.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense. Second and goal from the 7. They'll give Yeldon another crack. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Victor Cruz, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And his first look is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, 75 yards. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Surveying the field. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Von Miller in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a handoff to Yeldon. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
All right, partner, let's go back over the last couple of plays. Sack, loss of yards on a running play. Not exactly the sequence that an offensive coordinator gets comfortable with when calling plays.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On 3rd and long, it's Manning trying to lay one up deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And his throw is incomplete.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away, but oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. Manning now to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So on fourth down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Throwing on first down is Carr. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So now here come the Dolphins. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic? And everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Carl try it again on 2nd down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Chris Baker in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Carr going to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. One receiver to the left is Cooper. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Into the red zone now. Manning. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Play clock winding down. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on third on the field.
Could they blitz?
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on third down. Throwing is Manning on third down. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kamal Ishmael. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do in the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, Hyde. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. Third down now following the run.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
It's caught right side, it turns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now a first down following that long gain. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing is Manning. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he's brought down. 11 yards on the pickup. And it's first down, Miami. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Manning now on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here shift together here from the D-line. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Flush to his right. And some space here. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth. Now a play fake is left. And they went big.
I guess they figure with a guy who is getting the ball into the end zone.
Already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs to stop here. To throw his Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They come out here in the eye. They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll run for it. Hyde. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Carlos Hyde turned away on fourth down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They go play action here on first down. Going up top. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Carr going to look to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now Carr. Dancing to his left. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big, and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They'll come out in the pistol. To throw, it's Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, 77 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Manning. And it's brought in by Pitta. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Manning now to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. So 2nd and 10 here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Manning. He's going to let it fly. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And
now here is another interception. Picked off by Kamal Ishmael. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. On the move to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.
Oh, a tough decision on their hands now. And this early on, it's one you can't afford to get wrong. Oh, and that's a key upgrade right there. He's versatile, athletic, and a big upgrade over what they had. Oh, did they get themselves a player here or what? And there's a pick that'll certainly help. Maybe not an impact signing, but you're not going to hit a home run every round. These middle rounds are where your decisions can really impact your team. Because if you pass on certain positions, oh, no need to worry about this guy. Just plug him right into a starting role, and he'll be a massive upgrade. Definitely some options with this pick. Do you take a skill player here, or get yourself some help up front? What to do here? Build up the interior of your line or get that skill player to add another weapon? We've seen Dallas represented once already. Could another Cowboy be joining the fold? And with time running short, you've got to hope some guys fall into your lap, or you could be left with some real holes on your roster. A bit of a dilemma with this threesome. Which side of the ball do you turn your focus to here? Whoever's making the final decision here might have a coordinator in each year. Do you go offense or defense? Maybe not a huge upgrade over what they had already, but they're certainly building up some depth there. Boy, it's finger crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. And now's where you need to make these last picks count. Time to fill any holes you can before it's too late. Boy, you talk about a friendly turn of the cards. This is a great round for these guys as they get themselves a dynamic player right here. Boy, we've just gotten started here, and already these guys have been handed a really difficult decision to make. Yeah, no surprise here. Anytime you can get your hands on a player of his caliber, I think you pretty well have to pull the trigger. Boy, you talk about a friendly turn of the cards. This is a great round for these guys as they get themselves a dynamic player right here. We've seen the Chargers represented already. Might one of his teammates join him? Still some big holes remaining to be filled. Here's where you may have to go after a lower rated player just to make sure you get coverage in all areas. Tough call here. Do you try and get tougher up front or get yourself a player in what we call a skill position? And that's a pick that'll solve a lot of problems out there. He'll fit in nicely. Yeah, I think with that pick, you're just looking to build up your core. Get some guys in here that can help round out the roster. Yeah, here's a spot where the fan base would be clamoring for a skill player. But do you listen to them or go after someone who can help you up front? Still a few holes on this roster and not a lot of time left to do anything about it. Two words here: difference maker. That's what that pick right there is. Now it's getting to the time of the draft where you really want to get lucky and hope somebody falls into your lap. It's the age-old question on draft day. What's the bigger need, offense or defense? Boy, it's finger-crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. Options here on both sides of the football. It's pretty much of a coin flip if you ask me.
Thank you, Larry. So the picks are in. We welcome you to this Draft Champions contest. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, ready to call the action. And let's get to it. Down to the field. It's time for kickoff. And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in Draft Champions. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now McNair looking for a first down throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And some real confusion here. They won't even get to the line. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go. On second down, McNair. And here the hookup good to Victor Cruz. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Let's go! On first down, it's McNair. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Come on, let's go!
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Right side catch, Gilmore. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now McNair. This will be caught at the 2. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Crockett Gilmore from 17 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. And it's up and good. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Peterson alone in the backfield. He'll get it running right. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The play clock's running down. On second down, Peterson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I have to admit to a little bit of surprise on that play call. Short yardage, and they try to go wide. They got spilled for their efforts.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield?